Welcome back to Cards and Comics, guys. I have another complete set I'm going to go through today. Now, it is not from the 90s, but it's from 2000, so it's adjacent. It's 90s adjacent 2000 set. So this is kind of special because it's a memorabilia set, a complete set of memorabilia cards from 2000, which was still kind of rare. You know, it was still the dawn, just a few years into the whole memorabilia game. This was a unique set, and it did something I think cool that no other memorabilia set had kind of done until then. And it was 1 in 431 packs. It was an 11 card set, and it should have been 12. One card was not made. We'll get into that. The set we're going to go over today is this one right here. It is the 2000 Upper Deck Hologrfx Piece of the World Series set. Now, each one of these cards have a piece of a game used base from that 99 series. It's Atlanta versus New York. So it's a Yankees centric set. A lot of, it's got Yankees and Brave players. And the first card in the set is Derek Jeter. So you can see it says 1999 World Series base and game used. And then on the back, it says, congratulations, you received a 1999 piece of the World Series game used base trading card from Upper Deck Company. On the front, on this card, is an authentic piece of base used in an official 1999 Major League World Series game. We hope you enjoy this piece of MLB World Series history. So I think that's cool. I think this was a pretty innovative idea. And it also took the idea that you don't need to make the player on the front and the memorabilia piece specific. So this is just a base, and then they just kind of added the players from the set that, or from the teams that they wanted. Now, it's card number 1, and it's a good looking design. I bought this entire set, made an offer on it, and so 11 cards. I paid, I think, $250 for the set. So if you do the math, that's about 20, a little under 20, like $22 a card, something like that. That seems pretty reasonable for a set that, to get the entire set, I did the math, you'd have to open around 5,000 packs of cards. And Hologrfx is not a cheap set. It was actually pretty expensive back in 2000. And I think even today, you're going to pay $4 or $5 a pack. So if you say $4 on the low side, that's a $2,000 price point to get a chance at almost perfect collation to do it, to get this full set. So I felt like it was a good price point. It's a cool set. It's a set I don't see that often. So card 1, we have Derek Jeter. Card 2, here we go. We got Chipper Jones. So again, they didn't go in order, which is kind of cool. I like the fact that they mixed up the order of the cards. Yeah, I got it in order. Make sure I didn't mess up. So there it is. And again, you can see the base is pretty much the same. So we don't have any different color there. So it's going to be the same. But we got Chipper Jones, Derek Jeter. Okay. Next up is these are the holders that came in. So I haven't changed holders or anything. Roger Clemens, it kind of makes sense. One thing that is interesting too is if you look at how the Jeter is, because he's kind of against the field, and this is the crowd, the red on the two cards are very different. So the set doesn't just look kind of like monochrome. You have some difference here. But we got Roger Clemens as number 3. Number 4 is, I'm looking for the number here to make sure I'm doing them in order. We've got Mr. Greg Maddux. So right off the bat, you have 3 out of 4 Hall of Famers, and the only reason Clemens isn't a Hall of Famer is because of the whole steroid issue. But here is Mr. Maddux, cool card. So it's another reason why I bought the set was full of just great players, a lot of Hall of Famers too. So typically now I know a lot of sets I buy that I've been showing off, are heavy on King Griffey or other players I collect. This is one of the few sets, besides Jeter, where I don't really collect a lot of the players, but it's just such a cool set. So here's the Greg Maddux. Card number 5 coming up. And yep, here we go. Bernie Williams. And so it's hard to understate too, but Bernie Williams was such an important player in that team. Just he was a stud for a lot of years on these teams, and I think he's definitely one of those guys that could have been, like if he'd had just a few more good seasons, he could have definitely made a case for the Hall of Fame. He was right there. He was a few seasons short, but he was really good. You have Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones was a big stud at this time. So he was a big player. Again, he's a guy that's getting a lot of push for Hall of Fame. And I do think if he doesn't make it now, he'll make it on a veterans ballot at some point. His top 5, say 8 to 10 seasons are really some of the most special. And for being so young when he first came up, he was really, really good. He fell off, a lot quicker than to really make him a slam dunk Hall of Famer. But he definitely was close, and I think he's going to get in over time. I think he's definitely one of those guys that's going to get in either on one of those vet committees, and I think he will eventually make it. All right, next up, Tino Martinez, super popular player for the Yankees. Came from Seattle, so here's your Griffey connection. Again, one of the good players, took over from Don Mattingly for the most part. So really tough act to follow up when you take over Don Mattingly, but he did the thing that Mattingly couldn't, and he actually won the series. Next up is, good player. This is an interesting thing about the set. Like Brian Jordan's in it, and people kind of forget how good Brian Jordan was, and some of these, Dave Justice, Brian Jordan, Chipper Jones. They had a really good team. The Yankees and Braves were really loaded back in this time period. So there you go, Brian Jordan. Card number 9. Mariano Rivera. And I think this is a really cool card. Now none of these cards are graded, and you can see on this Mariano Rivera a little chipping, and these are oversized. I didn't show that to you. They are oversized. So if you can see that, I know it's a little blurry, but hard for the camera to focus on it. But these are big cards, and we all know big cards tend to have condition issues out of the pack. So, but a very cool Mariano Rivera. So you got another. 100% of the ballot Hall of Famer there. And a guy that you don't see on that many memorabilia cards from the early 2000s, late 90s. Next up is Paul O'Neill. Again, one of the key players on this team, a guy who very popular with the Yankee fans. Paul O'Neill. Again, one of those Hall of really good. And then last but not least, and then I just want to make sure I got this right. Paul O'Neill is card 11. Mariano Rivera is card number 9. There is no card 10. We'll talk about that in a second. No card 10. And last but definitely not least is Hall of Famer Tom Glavine. So Tom Glavine, obviously a Hall of Famer, great pitcher. Again, the Braves were really loaded, pitching and hitting, just like the Yankees. So it's a great World Series, and I think this was definitely, I think the series that sort of put baseball back on the map. I think it was really, you had the home run chase, and then you had this World Series, and it really helped recover from that dark period right after strike. So, that home run chase in 98, and then you had this great World Series in 99, and, really made this whole thing, baseball get really popular again pretty quickly. Now, the one thing I would say is why there's no card 10 in this set. That was supposed to be John Rocker. And for anyone who was a little hype at that time period, really knows. I'm gonna put the Jeter back up here. What happened there? It was he made a bunch of comments about how he hated New York and made just a lot of things that I probably can't repeat on the channel, but I think it was in a Sports Illustrated article. And so Rocker, went from being a all-star closer to being basically given up on. I think after one more season, was let go, and he was just a guy that really didn't understand. And he was almost probably the first athlete in baseball to really get canceled. Did it in a Sports Illustrated article. Just ruined his career. He never really recovered from that. And so Rocker was card number 10. And so they canceled him out of the set because he was so controversial. So it just shows you how this idea of like, you can say some stuff and get canceled even back in 1999 and 2000. And so it's just an interesting part of the set. Now there's a variation to this set where these cards are autographed, and those are really super duper rare. And you only see a few of them on eBay at a time. That would be amazing if someone had both the base set and the autograph set. Really excited. I would love to get a Jeter version of this card autograph. That would be my kind of big goal. If I could ever find it and trade for it, because I just think this card is really cool. To get one autograph would just be really amazing. So hope you guys like this set. Something different, something unique. It's something you don't see very often. And I think it's something that for what I paid, around $20-something a card, it seems like a steal. And I do think this is another example I'm trying to give for people who are on the, everything's too expensive, cards are so hard to get. Today, that there's stuff like this in the 90s and 2000s that are really cool, really affordable. You get tons of Hall of Famers in this set, and it's a pretty rare set, but it's not breaking the bank. And that's why I said in my live stream recently that I do believe the 90s and early 2000s are so popular now. It's because they're still affordable. You can get a lot of great players and not really kill yourself. And so this does make, these kind of things more fun. It's just fun to collect cool cards, and it's even more fun if you don't have to, bankrupt yourself just to complete a set. So hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.